But whatever it may be, I want you guys to see it. Okay, this is it, Princess. And this will be, there's more, it's a whole bunch of video clips. All right, that's why I decided to make it by itself. So let's get going. It might take me a long time. Princess Diana private secretary Patrick Jephson, Channel 4 program Charles, The Battle with Diana, Royal Reporters interview in 2003. This is a thread number 1. All right, let's go. This is the first video.
After a damning report from his own private secretary, the Prince of Wales faces the greatest crisis of his life. It's the culmination of 15 years of conflict inside the royal family.
One thing that I realized with the royal family, they love conflicts. They don't try to avoid conflicts. They create conflicts.
For 8 of those years, I worked for the Prince and Princess of Wales and had a close-up view of their battle. In this series, I'm going to tell the story of how that conflict led the Prince of Wales to go badly wrong. How during the breakup of their marriage, both the Prince and Princess allowed briefing of the press against each other.
Much of the negativity towards the couple is coming from within the royal family. The royal family and staff of the royal family are the ones that are very often leaking these stories to the press.
I have another video of him where he was talking about where Princess Diana had a meeting with Charles. That's when, you know, everything was somewhat okay with their marriage. And then they wanted the Queen to do something. And they were gonna do all sort of paperwork to bring to the Queen. And then Princess Diana said, just pick up the phone, call the Queen and ask her, and then you get your answer. So he was the one who bring that story. I have that video someplace else, but let's continue.
How after the princess's death, the prince's staff helped spread stories that she had been mentally ill.
Alright, so that's the thing here. The staff keep on reporting to the royal vats some nonsense, and then with the help of someone else who allowed it to continue. And then you see now one of her son is carrying this nonsense.
And how manipulation of the truth, or spin, came to dominate the prince's household. For the past year, I've been researching the battles inside the royal family, discovering new and disturbing information about the tactics of the prince's advisors at St. James's Palace.
Oh my God, this is really good. Because when Dan Wooten keeps saying things are coming from the royal family are the one who's leaking to the press, this is another version of that, him saying that.
The picture that emerges is of a court addicted to spin, and a prince whose behavior too often brings the monarchy into disrepute.
The thing that I see here was the thing that he just said, is that Charles' behavior, no one really disciplined him as a child. Okay, as you know, when you're young, you know, it's like a little tree who's growing, and when you see the tree is leaning to one side, okay, you take a little rope to straighten it so it doesn't continue in that path. That's Charles. Charles never had any discipline, and now he's living his life whatever way he feel like. Okay, no one ever disciplined him to tell him, no, this is not the way you do things. Okay, so now they're creating the spin to cover up his true behavior, this kind of thing. And this is where things get out of control. All right, the spinning off of things to let people know this is not what he did, when in fact he's doing his own shady stuff. Nobody tell him, no, don't do that. All right, they rather create a narrative to make people believe something else.
It started with a very different picture. A modern monarch-to-be, his beautiful young wife at his side, an image of freshness, optimism, and dynastic renewal.
My goodness.
How are you enjoying life?
Knowing what we know now, all this were pretending. Meanwhile, he had another someone he loves. where he said, you know, no matter what happened, he will always love, you know, Camilla.
Weeks before their wedding day, Diana overheard Charles talking to his ex on the telephone.
She heard him on the telephone saying to Camilla, whatever happens, I will always love you. And that's before he went off to Australia. We have famous footage of her crying as he climbs aboard his plane.
At the time, the press just figured Diana was sad to see him go. But in reality, she was wondering if she should call the whole thing off.
Live. Highly recommend.
Have you cooked a breakfast yet?
Wow, look at her. Wow.
The prince and his new princess
Look at the comparison. So young. Well, but anyway, let's continue.
appeared to embody everything we wanted in our royal family. We were proud of them, and in return they seemed, well, they seemed so nice. Like almost everybody else, that was all I wanted.
Oh, there's more. There's more.
Delicate job. One of my predecessors let slip to a journalist that on their foreign tours, the royal couple now slept in separate bedrooms.
Wow.
Working for the Prince and Princess of Wales, we spent a lot of time driving around in the back of nice cars or flying in nice aeroplanes to exotic destinations. But underneath it all, we knew that we were working for a house divided against itself.
Wow.
And that our
This is the thing, the glamorous thing. This is the thing so many people so of. I have nice cars, nice airplane, but what really matters, this is the thing that Harry was aware of. What we see out there, those nice cars, those nice airplane, or the term royal, those glamorous thing, prestige, you assume it was prestige, but there's rotten nonsense going on in the background, things that really matters. So this is the part where Harry wanted to make sure whoever he married with understand that part. When it's time to leave, let's go. Alright, so he just had
job for a lot of the time was to paper over the cracks. I remember the 1988 Glasgow Garden Festival. As usual, our organisation strained every sinew to present an image of happy togetherness. But we made sure nobody knew they arrived and left by separate aircraft.
wow.
I suppose you could call that spin, but I think it was justified because it supported their marriage.
Patrick,
Dickie Arbiter, how very good to see you.
you're looking terrific.
Wow.
An old courtier's reunion, where
They went the same place, separate airplane. Wow, wow, wow. And then who's paying for that? Who's paying for that? I wonder who.
better to start my journey than with someone who had joined the royal household at the same time as me, and who was right in the thick of the action.
Oh, is that
See the taste in time.
Arbiter? Dickie Arbiter? He did say the name. I missed it. Uh-huh.
Ties hasn't improved any.
Taste and ties is wonderful. It's a trademark.
Yeah.
People remember the ties rather than the person. We didn't.
Dickie Arbiter and I served together when he was a royal press secretary. For 10 years, he worked inside both Buckingham Palace and the Wales's office in St James's Palace. He had to try harder than anybody to keep up the pretense of a marriage that worked.
Wow.
First of all, there was a divergence of style. He was very much of the old school. She was very new to the game, very vibrant.
There it is. New to the game. This is a game for all of them. A game. Manipulate people. A game. And I think this is the thing that Princess Diana could not understand in some shape or form.
And liked the idea of meeting people.
I think we had a great deal of interest. We both liked people, both liked country life.
Talking to people, being seen in the right place at the right time, and ever aware of the photo opportunity.
Wow.
Dickie had a problem.
That's the, you know what that picture remind me? There's one of William and Kate. I think it was an outing that was supposed to be for Kate only, and William decided to tag along. And then this was one of similar pictures that were taken, and there was a black lady in the middle or something. I'll look at the screen. I'll show you what I'm talking about. That's what this picture.
By the late 1980s, the papers were printing rumours of rifts in the royal marriage. His job was to damp down those rumours. He and I both went on the Prince and Princess's visit to Hungary.
Oh, there's more. Damn it.
Allowed them to recommend the Prince of Wales to authorise people to speak to somebody he knew was going to be critical of his wife.
He'd had a lot of bad press. He'd had a tremendous amount of bad press. This was perhaps perceived as an opportunity for him to start, to all intents and purposes, setting the record straight.
Now, is Dickie telling the truth? Knowing what we know about him now, I don't know. Is he telling the truth now? This is what happens when you have liars. Are you telling the truth? Can people believe you?
I put it to Dickie that you don't set the record straight by endorsing a book that suggests the princess was suffering from a serious psychiatric disorder.
Oh.
Well, this is just one part of a book, isn't it? You know,
just like I was saying.
It's not the whole book. It's just one part
of
it.
It's the bit that people remember. What's the one thing that stuck from Penny Junor's book? It's borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
Ah. Just like I was saying.
One. I think probably at the time, ill-advised, seen as an opportunity of setting some of the records straight, setting the record straight that he is not such a bad guy after all. But unfortunately, they picked the wrong opportunity and the wrong subject.
Trying to change people's mind, create narrative, instead of let people see you for who you are.
Was it the moment when the dinner party chatter became whispers to journalists at the polo field?
What have you found? What is going on? Oh, you could not think I would ask that woman for tea without a thought for you, could you? The help here is everything, as we all know.
She has heard a good deal, in fact. Lord Birdbrook has a boy by one of his maids that he refused to provide for. Sent the maiden child away to live off scraps. Horrible man.
Horrible enough for us to be rid of him, let us pray.
He will only deny it. And he will believe a group of women over a man's word.
Perhaps no one. But they will if Lady Whistledown does.
Was it when his friends told Jonathan Dimbleby stories suggesting the princess was mentally ill?
So we shall do what women do. We shall talk.
Jonathan Dimbleby stories suggesting the princess was mentally ill.
Yeah, I did come across...
Was it when Mark Boland walked into the...
I did come across a video, an old video, where when they started to be separated, all of Charles' friends, specifically some of these people that he's mentioned here, I don't know if it's all of them, but some of them, they were, bad-mouthing Princess Diana. Yeah, I believe this one.
The office of Penny Junor's publisher. I don't know when it happened, but at some point, the Prince of Wales had crossed a Rubicon.
Can you imagine this? Princess Diana against all of these men. Only her against all of them. The institution. You name it. Wow, we gotta give Princess Diana credit where credit is due, because that woman went through hell by herself.
Sometimes a loyal courtier has to leave his boss a bit of room for deniability. It seems to me there's rather a lot of that in this story. The discreet briefing, the unattributable source. But in the end, the Prince of Wales must surely take responsibility for what has been done in his name.
And all of this, similar to what happened to Meghan, all they had to do is speak up, but nope. It was benefit to them, so they let it run. They're repeating the same mistakes over and over again. Alright. Oh, that's set with this. Alright, I covered all three. I think I did.
Allowed them to recommend the Prince of Wales to authorise people to speak to somebody he knew was going to be critical of his wife.
He'd had a lot of bad press. He'd had a tremendous amount of bad press. This was perhaps perceived as an opportunity for him to start, to all intents and purposes, setting the record straight.
Okay.
I put it to Dickie that you don't set the record straight by endorsing a book that suggests the princess was suffering
from a serious psychiatric disorder.
Okay, so we heard that already. I just wanted to make sure. So they're repeating the same thing. All right, so next one.